Hello and welcome back to Quantum Life. So last time we gave you an introduction about this channel and now we want to get into it. This video is going to be a little bit about the reason really why we need to learn about quantum being and what it means in establishing success and abundance in our lives. And the other part is going to be a little bit about the history of the people who have been the forerunners of this philosophy, of this truth about life. It's not me. I'm more or less a messenger. I'm enchanted myself by the power of this philosophy that or many call quantum life. But there have been very prominent figures in the world, a quantum physicist and a philosopher, a guru, a natural-born psychologist, I would say, who have spearheaded this whole movement. So let's get into that. This video, the first one, is about what is it that we are talking about. And I want to get your attention to the fact that we all are actually living a great deception. To really make it a little bit more tangible, I want to get your attention to the aspect of life that we all are struggling with, which is exemplified and illuminated by what we call the fast-paced way of life. Isn't it true? Can we see and agree that all of us are kind of running all the time, trying to catch up with the ultimate goal? If you look at your life, right, the average person is working about 12, 14, maybe 16 to 17 hours a day and taking care of a bunch of chores, multiple obligations, hundreds of tasks, just to make a living, just to barely spend the day or the week or the month according to a certain schedule. And then at the end of the interval, whatever that is, call it a living, call it a life. Now, let me bring to your attention a little bit of kind of ironic aspects to make it a little bit more tangible. The notion of vacation. When was the last time you have taken a vacation? When was the last time that you actually have taken a solid vacation, maybe a 2-week vacation, away from the fast-paced lifestyle, where you could actually be in control, be in charge, have freedom of decision-making, of options, to just relax, to live life fully? When was the last time? I barely know people who could attest that they have taken 2 weeks a year. Most people are simply not in that position. Isn't that ironic? Shouldn't life be kind of the other way around? Instead of working all of our lives and then barely get 2 weeks to actually enjoy life, shouldn't it be kind of the reverse, where we actually live life and do whatever we like to do whenever we want to? Wouldn't that type of a freedom be the real freedom that people are after? However, what are they doing to achieve that? That's part of that great deception. They are working their behind all the time in order to chase this elusive power of freedom of decision-making, freedom of time, freedom of choice. Unfortunately, the way it has been designed is that we all have been told the only way of doing this is by getting this so-called, power-inducing material in our hands called money. Everybody is after that. Millions, if not billions of people have been programmed to think that that is the holy grail. That's the ultimate reward. And then you see everyone working 14, 15 hours a day, chasing different obligations, chasing that elusive holy grail, and yet never really get there. The theory sounds nice. The incentive, the motivation is good, but in reality, in practicality, people never get there. They're constantly chasing the elusive dream. And it's a great, marketing, sales slogan. It's absolutely a great one that gets people hooked, right? Everyone chasing that dream, everyone chasing whatever we want to call it, American dream or this dream or that dream, or becoming rich, multimillionaire, multi-billionaire, famous, whatever we want to call it. But how many people get there? Only a fraction, a very, very, very small fraction of people actually make it. And that's part of the great deception, because we constantly hold that like a carrot against everybody else and say, see, XYZ did it. So if you run faster, if you compete better, you're going to get there, hopefully one day. But for the average person, for the masses, that day never happens. An analogy that I bring is like a freeway. Look at the freeways. In fact, my office is next to a freeway. I look at it all the time, where I see this kind of senseless back and forth. Millions of people kind of driving into two different opposing directions. It's a never-ending cycle that reminds me of that chase. Now, how come, if you ask yourself, billions of people are actually falling into that great deception? Is that like a mass illusion, masterminded by some genius? Well, the answer is very much that it is a contagious part of being human. The reason it exists at this mass level, where everybody mindlessly follows this rule and doesn't even stop and take a moment and reflect on what they are doing, examine their choices, examine these actions that they're taking, is because the root cause of it very much resides in themselves. That great deception is based on what we call the deception of thought. So this is a very brief explanation of what the actual problem is that we are all afflicted by. And very quickly, the antidote to this, in order to get out of that rat race, we need to switch to being rather than thinking. That's a shortcut for everybody who's interested in this channel. And once you follow the videos and the blogs and the teachings, you will notice how to do that, how to make that shift away from just mindless thinking and chasing dreams and never getting there, to actually being powerful, being rich, being comfortable, being confident, being in the moment, being in control, having liberty and freedom, instead of thinking about it, planning for it, chasing it, dreaming it. That is the shift. We will get there by simply providing all the necessary and rich information. You will need to follow the channel and the videos to finally be able to actually implement that in your lives. Thank you for watching. Tune into the other videos that are going to come along, and let me know what you think by posting some comments. Thank you.